Hello YouTube, how's it going? It's the Professional here. Today I wanted to do a review on the Scramjet, the newest car added to GTA Online as part of the drip feed for the After Hours DLC. This car comes with a price of $4,628,000, but you can get it for a trade price of $3,480,000 if you win one game of the new adversary mode Hunting Pack Remix. Make sure you do the adversary mode if you plan to purchase the car because it takes over $1,000,000 off the price, and since this is a pretty expensive car, it is definitely worth doing the adversary mode. The Scramjet is a two-door supercar that has the same jump ability as the Ruiner 2000, but lacks the parachute. It also has a boost ability that lasts a few seconds longer than the Oppressor and the Vigilante, but takes longer to recharge. It also comes equipped with missiles similar to the Deluxo and the Ruiner, and machine guns similar to the Night Shark. You do not need to buy these weapons as they come with the vehicle. To upgrade it, however, you would need to own an MOC or an Avenger. This makes no sense because the only upgrades are general armor and engine upgrades, which I don't understand why you can't just customize it inside Los Santos Customs. When I first purchased this vehicle, the number one thing that I was curious about is this vehicle faster than the Oppressor and the Vigilante? And here we are doing a speed test, and this speed test we are doing without any boost. So this is a regular engine test. Boost test will come up next, but in a regular engine test, the Vigilante and the Oppressor appear to be faster than the Scramjet. We started out kind of even at the beginning, but then they got a lead on me, and it was hard for me to keep up at this point. In test number 2, I wanted to see if I get a 1-second head start on both the Vigilante and the Oppressor, will they be able to catch up to me? So right here, here's the answer. I started off, I have a 1-second advantage, and as you guys can see right there, the Vigilante is slowly catching up to me. He's catching up to me. He doesn't manage to catch up to me by the time I get to the end of the runway, but if you were on a highway, if you were on a long stretch of road, the Vigilante and the Oppressor would both end up catching up to the Scramjet. I was kind of disappointed in this because I was expecting this thing to be faster than the Vigilante. I really was expecting this vehicle to be a lot faster. Not saying that it's slow, but I was expecting it to be faster than the Vigilante personally, because the Vigilante is just such a big vehicle, and considering that this thing has just two jet engines when it's boosting, I thought that it would go a lot faster. But right here, we're on our next race, and in this race, we are doing just a general race across the map. We're doing a highway race, and we are doing it based on boost. So right here, we all started out at the same time, Oppressor, Vigilante, and Scramjet, and the Vigilante got in the lead. Even if when the Vigilante crashed a little bit, he was still able to maintain his lead, and the Oppressor just manages to pass me easily, even though that the Scramjet, that its boost lasts a little tiny bit longer than the Oppressor and the Vigilante. It doesn't manage to catch up because the refresh time is just slower on it. So you can see the Vigilante and the Oppressor, they're boosting a lot quicker. Their refresh rates are a lot faster on their boost. They're able to boost 2 times the amount that takes me 1 time to boost. So even in a boost race, the Scramjet still, it doesn't end up winning against the Oppressor or the Vigilante. In a final speed test right here, I wanted to see how easily the Vigilante and the Oppressor could catch up to me if I boosted and I got a 1-second head start. So I got a 1-second head start, I activated the boost, and I'm activating the boost the second it refreshes, and you can see just how inferior the Scramjet's boost is in comparison to the Oppressor and the Vigilante. They're able to catch up to me pretty quickly, and the Vigilante's right behind me here. Oppressor manages to pass me right here on the side. Let's see. Oppressor's catching up to me, and the Oppressor has passed me at this point. Now the Vigilante passes me here, so a lot of people were probably expecting this vehicle to be a lot faster. I thought that it would beat the Vigilante. I was wrong. Even though the Scramjet isn't as fast as the Vigilante, it does have its own unique ability, and that is to jump. This is pretty much the exact same ability that's in the Ruiner, but the main difference is that this thing does not have a parachute. It doesn't have a parachute, but it can jump over obstacles. This can make it easy when you want to jump over smaller buildings, and you want to jump over like railings. If you want to jump over traffic, I found this pretty helpful. If you're on the highway and there's a lot of traffic, you could jump over. Just be careful not to overestimate when you jump, because I've overestimated my jumps a few times, and I've hit things that I didn't want to hit. But if you really mess around with this jump, you can have a lot of fun. I mean, it's not like it's going to be making you a ton of money. Like, might be able to help you in certain activities, but this is the vehicle that you're going to have fun in. You can mess around in this thing. Take this thing on mountains with your friends, do boost and jumps, and you can fly really high in the air with this thing. Now, moving on to weapons, the Scramjet has 30 missiles, and these missiles are pretty much the same as the Deluxo and the Ruiner missiles. They're very accurate, they follow the target pretty closely, they'll curve very well, unlike the regular missiles, which don't curve too well. So, whatever target you're aiming at, if they try to dodge it, generally they will get hit by it. Unless they're in some kind of really fast vehicle like a jet and they fly around in a circle, they won't be able to dodge it. If they're like on the car, the ground, even an oppressor won't be able to dodge a missile from this. Just take a look at this right here. My friend gets on the oppressor, fired a missile. Look at that. Look at how nice that missile curves. So, pretty good at shooting down targets. And, I mean, you could use this thing to counter Oppressor Mark IIs, but Oppressor Mark IIs also have countermeasures, so make sure you keep that in mind. While I was actually recording the missile test, a business battle spawned, and it was the Merryweather drop, and I wanted to see how effective the missiles would be at clearing out this location. You gotta kill all of Merryweather, and then wait for the cargo plane to make the drops. And these missiles, they're so accurate, they're actually flying over obstacles and wasting Merryweather. All of the missiles are hitting on point. None of them seem to be missing. So these missiles, pretty good at clearing out areas, very good at locking on the targets. Very hard for a target to dodge it. Like I said earlier, the only way a target would really be able to dodge this would be if they were like in a jet flying in a circle, or if they got behind cover really quickly. But very hard for anything to dodge this. Even this helicopter in this case fired one missile right up here, curved right up here, and hit it instantly. One additional thing that I really like about this vehicle is that you can use drive-by weapons with this. You can't use drive-by weapons with the Oppressor, and you can't do them with the Vigilante, so this is definitely a step in the right direction. When you're not using the missiles or the machine gun in this thing, you can pull out any kind of sidearm that you have that you normally would be able to use in drive-by vehicles, pull it out, and just shoot them. I was using the AP pistol in that test, and right here I'm just showing you guys what the machine gun looks like on this thing. Machine gun, it's basically the same kind of machine gun that you would find in the Night Shark. I mean, it is a nice feature, but I don't think players are really going to be using this. If you want to use a gun, I would personally recommend using an AP pistol, because since the machine gun is so low, it will be kind of hard to hit higher targets. So if you're in a drive-by situation, I definitely think that an AP pistol or even a mini SMG, I think those would be better to use than the standard machine guns on this thing. Now here we come to the most disappointing thing about the Scramjet, in my opinion, and that is that you can't use this thing in heists. I was really hoping that you would be able to use this thing in heists. You're not able to use many weaponized vehicles in heists, but this one you should be able to, in my opinion. The Vigilante, you're able to use that in heists, no problem, and the Vigilante is very helpful in heists. If this vehicle was able to be used in heists, that would definitely make it worth it 100% just to use in heists. That jump ability, the missiles, would definitely be a great vehicle to use in heists, but you can't use it. You can use the Vigilante, no problem, but you can't use the Scramjet, and I don't really understand the logic. Is it because of the jump? But you should definitely be able to use this thing in heist. I don't understand the problem with that. And here at the end, we come to a damage resistance test, and it only takes one RPG. I wasn't really expecting much from this kind of a vehicle. So here we come to our pros and the cons. And the pros are, it's a very fast vehicle. Pretty fast, has a unique boost ability. Only the Vigilante, the Oppressor, the Rocket Voltic, the Oppressor Mark II, very few vehicles have the boost ability, so it is unique in that. And it's pretty fast, but it's not as fast as the Vigilante and the Oppressor. Keep that in mind. Still a very fast vehicle in comparison to other ones, like you'll definitely be able to beat other supercars and sports cars, other fast cars, but in comparison against the Vigilante and the Oppressor, it will lose in the speed test. It does have a unique jump ability. The Ruiner 2000 also has this ability, but it has no parachute. So the jump ability, it's still helpful, but there's no parachute for it. It has very accurate missiles. The missiles are pretty much the same as in the Deluxo and the Ruiner. Will hit any target, will curve around, hit that target easily, very hard to dodge. You can use drive-by weapons with this thing. You can pull out an AP pistol. You can pull out an SMG. Any kind of weapon that you can use in a drive-by, you can use for this vehicle. You can't use drive-by weapons for the Vigilante and the Oppressor, so this is definitely a step in the right direction. And it's fun for stunts. This is the kind of vehicle that you take up a mountain, you boost off, and you mess around with your friends. That's very fun. It's very fun to use, but I'm not really going to find many missions that this vehicle is good in and many ways to make money. It's more of a fun vehicle than a moneymaker vehicle. And for the cons are, it's expensive. It is pretty expensive. I think it's too much, over $3 million. That's just a trade price. I think $2.5 million would be a more reasonable price. And you can't use it in heists. I don't understand that logic. You can use the Vigilante, but you can't use the Scramjet. This thing should be able to be used in heists. That's the most disappointing thing, in my opinion, for this vehicle. And it's not faster than the Oppressor and the Vigilante. And finally, you need an MOC and an Avenger to upgrade this vehicle. That makes no sense to me, because you're not really putting weapons on this thing. Just the only thing you customize on this vehicle are just engine upgrades and just the paint and just the handling. That's all you pretty much customize on this thing. There's nothing really more than that. So why do you need an MOC and Avenger? It just feels like it's another paywall for this vehicle. So that's pretty much the end of my review. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this vehicle? Do you enjoy this vehicle? Do you like it? Will you be using it? If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you're new to my channel and enjoyed my content, then subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.